Judging from Donald Trump's posts in the last, and interviews in the last 24 hours, he does seem to be not very happy with the Prime Minister as a result of the last few days. Do you worry that that will make it harder to finally finalise the trade situation, the trade deal with the US, which was put into quite a lot of uncertainty by that Supreme Court judgment a few weeks ago?
When it comes to decisions around using British armed forces to take part in conflicts around the world, it is very important that we judge those on whether it is legal and whether it is the right thing to do. You can't make a decision about whether to get British armed forces involved in a conflict because it may or may not make it more likely to get a trade deal. And we judged that there was not a legal basis for offensive action on Iran. But of course, once Iran responded, particularly...
Sorry, not a legal basis for the UK, but presumably not for the US either? If
well,
making a
we can only make
that.
judgments for ourselves, and that was the judgment that we came to based on our legal advice, and it's up to other countries to explain what action they've taken and on what basis. But once Iran responded in the way that they did, including with missiles being launched into our allies who were not involved in the offensive action, and the risks to our military bases in Cyprus, of course it was right that we became involved in defensive action, and we were involved in that from Saturday, and of course on Sunday we gave permission for US jets to use British assets from which to launch those defensive actions, and that's a decision that we've taken as a government. On trade, I'm proud of what we've done as a government. We've secured a trade deal with India, I think probably the best trade deal that any country in the world has secured with India, and we hope to be able to bring that into effect in the next couple of months. But in addition, improving our trade relations with our nearest neighbours and trading partners in the European Union. And I'm going to say more about our relations with the European Union in a speech I'm going to give in a couple of weeks' time, because I think that that is one of the big bets that we can take as a country to change our trajectory for productivity and growth. We've already rejoining the Erasmus scheme to allow young people to be able to study in the European Union countries, and for young people in those countries to be able to study in the UK. But we also want to deliver an energy and electricity trading deal. We want a food and farming agreement, an SPS agreement, and also we want to bring in a youth mobility scheme so that young people in Britain can go and take advantage of opportunities in Europe, and vice versa. Young people in the European Union can come and work in the UK. I know that some countries around the world are looking to pull up the drawbridge, but Britain benefits from being an open trading economy, open to trade, open to investment, and also open to talent.
But for trade, it's enormously important just to have some kind of certainty about what the trade rules are. And it seems, are you able to say to UK exporters to the US that you know currently what the trade rules are for going into the US? Because it's not clear to us.
Well, we secured a trade deal with the US last year on the export of goods. Since then, we've gone further and secured a deal around pharmaceuticals, which is obviously crucial for the UK, given the importance of our pharmaceuticals sector.
As far as you're concerned, yes, those things are not affected by the Supreme Court ruling, as far as you're concerned?
Well, obviously, we are in constant negotiation and dialogue with the US administration, but there's absolutely no reason why the trade deal that we secured last year can't be maintained